Hey guys, JD here with the Kawasaki Ultra 310, and today I've got another product from Kspeed that I want to share with you guys. So this right here is your stock strut that opens the front compartment here. Now a big complaint that a lot of people have about this ski is that the opening here is too small. So while the guys at Kspeed couldn't do anything to improve the size of the compartment, they did actually make it much more accessible. And they did that by introducing this extended reach strut right here. So this actually allows this compartment to open another 4 inches over the stock strut. So this is really easy to remove. We're going to reuse these pins here, and we're also going to reuse this rubber boot that's over the cylinder. And this new strut will allow this front compartment to come forward a little bit more by 4 inches. So that gives you much more access. It lets more light in and makes it much easier to work in the compartment. So we're going to remove this pin here. So I've seen these could be a little bit tighter than this. And this is just going to push out. So what I did is I just used a crowbar like this. I just got that in and then pulled it forward like that. And you just want to be careful not to lose this pin right there. So you could see mine, I had a grease on there, so it kind of stuck. So here's your pin there. We are going to reuse this. And then you could see that your stock assembly will come out just like that. There is a ferrule in there. Make sure you don't drop that. All right, so now I'm going to give you a closer up shot of how to remove this little pushed in rivet right here. So I found the easiest way to do it is just with a hammer and a crowbar like this. So what we're going to do is get and this tension washer here is pushed on pretty tight, so you can't really get anything in there. So we're going to line up the crowbar just like that, right at the edge, and just real lightly, you know, you don't want to use too much. And then you kind of could angle this a little bit like that. And tap that, and you can see now that this rivet is almost completely out. And then typically what you could do is you could use your hand to pull it out the rest of the way, and then make sure you retain that little washer right there, because we're going to reuse that. Make sure to retain these little inserts that are used on the stock strut. You are going to need to use those with the new Kspeed extended reach strut. Okay, so this is your stock cylinder. You can see it's made by Showa, and it doesn't have a country of origin, but I'd assume it's Japan based on the Japanese. So here's a look at the stock one and the Kspeed extended reach one side by side, and you could see that this Kspeed one, while the bore of the actual strut is a little bit less and the size of it is a little bit narrower, it does have a little bit longer reach. So Kspeed has tested this out. You know, they've confirmed that it does hold up, and it does give you about, once it's all assembled, it does give you that extra 4 inches of opening on your front lid there. All right, so we're going to get this all together now. This rubber piece is going to go just like that. And then this bellows that we had is going to go over the strut the same way. We're going to have to put some zip ties on it just to hold it all together. So then once you get this bellows assembled like this, you want to take a zip tie. Of course, I picked the green one because, you know, Kawasaki and all. And we're going to tighten that just like that. And this is just to protect the strut from the elements. Worth noting is the factory one here had this disc in there to hold this up. This one does not. Okay, so we're now ready to reinstall the Kspeed extended strut. Now, one thing I want to point out is that you do need to reuse these little inserts that came with the stock strut. All right, so here's our Kspeed strut ready to install. Now this rubber boot is not going to be able to stretch to the end here, so it's just going to kind of sit on there like that. The factory one, it went all the way to the end. I decided to put it on anyway just to protect this from salt water. So I reused that factory insert. You could see it in there. And then I used a little bit of marine grease around it. So this is going to go back in place just like this. Here's your factory pin, which I also put a little bit of grease on. So you're going to push this pin through just like this. And then this little friction washer here, you're going to push on and just push it all the way on with your fingers. And there you go, it's now in place. So on the bottom here, we're going to do the same thing. but you could see now how much farther this compartment opens. You can see now that the front compartment almost opens at a 90-degree angle to the ski. Okay, so this is your factory insert, as I just showed you again. Do not lose those. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of marine grease and just pack it in there. And then I'm going to go and put this insert back in. And the grease also helps hold it in place just like that. All right, and we're going to go ahead and slide that right in. Then I'm going to put a little bit of grease on this pin just to help it go through. All right, and then this pin, you're just going to line everything up and then push it through right like that. And then here again is the washer that we're going to reuse. And this, you're just going to take your hand and you're going to just push it on just like that. And then a good practice is just to take a little bit of extra grease and pack it in there. So I'm going to show you again one more time here. So we're opening the compartment. And now with that extended reach strut, it opens basically 90 degrees to the ski, giving you a lot more room in here. And wow, it makes the compartment feel a lot bigger. So this is a really easy upgrade. The only downside to this is that this bellow does not go all the way down like it does on the stock one. But we do have most of the body of it protected with this to keep any saltwater spray off of it. And then of course, when you close it, that bellows does, as you can see there, go all the way to keep that protected. So to get a little more utility out of your front storage compartment, go ahead and head over to Kspeed and pick yourself up one of these extended reach front opening struts for the Ultra 310 and Ultra 160. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. See you next time on JD's Water World. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more exclusive jet ski content only on JD's Water World.